All right, okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Rose. That's Pix, whichever way that would be. Anyway, doesn't matter. That's Pix next to me. I'm sure you've seen her on my channel before if you're someone that used to watch my videos back in the day. So we have decided we want to try to do this podcast or just sit down in conversation with each other. The goal will be once a week. We're going to call it Rose and Ranting, so everyone can grab their drinks and chill with us for like 30 minutes. And the plan, or at least the idea in my head, is that we're going to sit for 30 minutes and just rant about something, because that's what was missing from my channel, I feel like, was the ranting aspect of Rose's ranting. So I love ranting. I could rant forever, so 30 minutes, I'll limit myself to 30 minutes.
Challenge accepted.
And I'm hoping that we'll pick like a different topic each week and just try to keep it to that one topic for the episode or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. And then you guys can obviously in the comments give us your ideas of what you would want us to rant about for one of the episodes. So I'll leave Pix's channel down below. God, I haven't done this in so long. I'll leave her channel down below so you guys can go subscribe to her channel if you would like. What you don't know, Pix, is that yesterday I posted a minute-long rant on my Twitter. I'm assuming, are you on Twitter still?
No, I mean I have it, but I haven't touched it since last year.
Yeah. So I posted a minute-long video. Lord, I posted a minute-long video on Twitter yesterday ranting because this guy like basically sexually harassed me at work, and it was like, and I don't know why, but it really got me going, and I was like, I need to get this. And you can even see in the video my chest is red. That's how like mad I was about it. Yeah. So we've already kind of started introducing the my people on Twitter to the ranting aspect of Rose's ranting. I also want to put out the disclaimer right now that this is like two friends having a conversation, and like this isn't meant to be taken seriously. Like, please don't be offended by anything that comes out of our mouths. Like, we do this privately, so we just thought this would be a fun thing to do and like bring you guys into it. So yeah, I ranted yesterday. I also came up with a list of things that we can rant about, that, or at least that I would like to rant about.
Yeah, I'm game.
So
mine was more just a silly question, so.
Well, no, you're fine. I haven't sat down and actually made my like coming back to YouTube video yet.
Right.
So I don't know if you want to spend this time like talking about what you've done over the last, because you've taken about a year off as well, right? I've taken I'm pretty sure it's been a year at this point since I posted a video.
Yeah. I believe it was August 9th for mine. I did try to come back in December, and then I was just like, no, it's not gonna happen. So I deleted that.
I just want to throw it out there. So I'm already going to apologize that the sound quality was shitty for like the first beginning, because it's echoey as shit in this room. But I've basically been booted out of the other room I filmed in because my husband's cat is now in that room, and I feel like if I tried to record in that room, the cat's going to be walking in front of me the whole time, like around the camera, and that's just not going to work for me. I still will film some sit-down videos probably in that room, because it's the way that I have it set up worked a hell of a lot better than this setup works for filming, and you'll be able to see Cher in the background. I don't have any furniture in here other than my desk, which is why it's echoey, because there's nothing in this room. This is where we stored all of the wedding decorations before the wedding. So it's just been an empty room since we've moved in.
I still have the save the date on my cardboard. That's how much of it, like, I walk by it and I'm like, I miss you.
I'm sorry I didn't actually send you a legitimate invitation, but I knew because of the COVID restrictions that you weren't coming, and I'm so cheap that I didn't want to spend the extra $1 on the stamp. Sorry.
No, it's completely fine, because I got to see all of the behind the scenes stuff, like all of the Spanish moss and all that stuff. Like, you know what? Just because I wasn't there doesn't mean that I wasn't able to get the guest book signed.
Yeah.
That is like one of the best things that she was like carrying around. And I'm like, please just go to the guest book and put my name in here. So, yeah. I'm really happy that happened.
Yeah. So
And what are we drinking?
I'm drinking Crystal Light peach tea flavored because I need to hydrate.
Mine looks a lot more intense than it is, but it's just basically a wild berry tea with a bit of lemon in it, like the squirty lemon, the real lemon stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and all of the ice cubes have melted. So.
So I don't know that I could turn this into a whole 30 minutes, but something that's really getting on my nerves recently is because I'm recently married, everyone's like, when are you going to have kids? Stop asking me. What if I don't want to have kids? What if we can't have kids? Like, stop asking me when I'm having kids. It was just like growing up, when are you getting married? I got that all the time too, because I got married at 30, which for my family is old to get married. Because I came from like a small town where everyone got married to their high school sweethearts or like whoever they met in college, and like that didn't happen for me. I personally don't feel like I was ready to be married until I probably hit like 28, 29 anyway.
Right.
But yeah, I can't. Why? Like, why are you asking me when I'm gonna have kids? Like, it affects you in no way whatsoever whether or not I have kids or not. I don't know.
Right. I completely see where you're coming from, and I agree that, like, both of my marriages, obviously there's no kid in there, but I'm really grateful on this side that I didn't have kids with either of them.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that I look at this as, the people who get pregnant really early, like they're still in high school, just out of school, whatever. They don't have a lot of life experience. So there's going to be that level of the empty nest syndrome is so much higher at that point, because for most of their entire life, they've had a child. Like, people who gave birth when they're 14 or 15 years old, they're not even 30 when their kid is ready to have kids.
Yeah.
So you aren't looking at the potential of a child because you're not doing things that you're going to regret later on. Like, there are people who are very resentful of the children because I didn't get to grow up. I didn't have a childhood. I didn't, like, you chose that path. No, I do totally agree with you as far as they should stop asking these questions.
Yeah.
It's understandable that you're curious. The mindset has shifted, though, to the point where the parameters of having a marriage and children is no longer the first thing on people's minds. Because post-wars and then baby boomers and then the hippies and then the disco era, like, every single one of them has different perspectives on family.
Right.
And the people who have huge families for whatever reason, but most of the time they started really young, and that's the only life they've ever known.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not saying I'm against people that get married and immediately start having kids and yada yada. It's
right.
My parents waited 5 years before they had me. I would love to be able to have the opportunity to, like, spend years with my husband and, like, live a life and, all of these things before we commit to having a child and raising a child together.
Yeah.
Because I love to sleep and I love to travel and I love to spend money because I have it right now. And I know that all of those things can't happen for a while after you have a kid. So,
yes.
I don't know. And, like, and with the way that the world has been for the last year and a half, why would I want to, like, expose a kid to that right now? Like, let's get everything figured out, hopefully, because Florida right now is, like, awful. Like, for the first time in the pandemic, I'm actually working on an active COVID unit in a hospital, giving people physical therapy for the first time since I've lived here and COVID has been a thing for a year and a half. It's the first time that I've actually had to, like, be fully in it. Like, I was dealing with post-COVID and like the after effects, but now I'm dealing with people that actually have it. So there I am in my N95 mask, fully gowned up and all that stuff. Which, speaking of that, my skin is so bad right now. Like from here, like you can even, if I think the lights are keeping it from being visible, but I have like a dark spot on the top of my nose from where the N95 mask hits my nose. Because I was trying to figure it out. I put makeup on last night and I'm like, why do I have this dark spot on my nose? And it's because it's where the N95 mask hits me. But anyway.
Right.
And along the same lines, we'll just make this a whole rant about like marriage and like people's opinions on marriage. Which is going to upset some people, I think. But the other thing that's really like kind of been surprising to me is that I didn't change my last name. And there are people that are offended for my husband that I have opted to not change my last name. I would like to throw it out there that I had made this decision long before I'd even met my husband that I wasn't changing my last name, because I got a doctorate degree and started a career with my maiden name, aka my birth name. And the amount of people, like his cousin was so offended for him. And I was like, if he would have been like offended, or like not even offended. I think I would have been offended if he would have been offended. That's the thing, is it offends me that people are offended. Because why does it matter? It's a name. But whatever. Had he been like really like, I really want you to change your name, I would have done it. But the amount of paperwork and money that goes into that, and then to watch the amount of my friends that are in this profession that have gotten divorces and then had to change everything back, their license, their social security card, their driver's license, like everything. I'm just like, I'm lazy. Also, I don't want to go through all of that. Not saying I plan on getting a divorce, but like, why would I pay money to change my name twice? I don't know.
Right.
But like one of my coworkers is currently like going through all the online dating stuff, and when I was about to get married, she was like looking for a date to come to my wedding with, and she was like talking to like all these guys about it, and like there was a guy that was legitimately offended, doesn't even know me, legitimately offended that I wasn't taking my husband's last name, and I was like,
sorry, we don't live in the 40s.
Well, and
like
but there's even like people whose like parents, like I've had friends whose moms didn't take the husband's last name, even like years ago. And I'm not coming out and being like, I'm a feminist, like hardcore feminist. It's just a matter of, I have a career and I've lived 30 years of my life. Again, we'll go back to how long it took me to get married. I've lived 30 years of my life signing my name one way. I'm not going to relearn how to sign my name. Again, it just also goes back to me being lazy. So, yeah.
So I will say, for my first marriage, I purposely took his last name because I was done with the last name that was foisted upon me in the hospital when I was first hatched from Pluto. So I took that one, but I didn't take the other one, which I'm really glad that I didn't do. But at the same point, like, I've been kind of the opposite. Like, with all of my identity crises that I've had throughout my life, I have gone through like 17,000 names. And in this town alone, I'm known by 4 separate names. Like, one counselor calls me one thing, another counselor calls me another. Most of the professionals that I deal with know me as a different one. And then I've got the other ones that are like, hey, Pix, how's it going? I'm like, hi. Somebody actually knows the name that I want to be known by. Like, what? But yeah, so I understand where you're coming from. We're not living in that antiquated system anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think it goes back to the antiquated system of like, when are you having kids? Like, I feel like in today's society, it's not, I'm not living on a farm birthing children to help me milk the cows later. Like,
exactly.
So, yeah. I don't know why I think it's because I've lived so long as a single woman. I think that it's just surprised me how much that's been a question, like, since I've gotten married. Like,
Right.
Literally someone came out last week or the week before and was like, well, what was your maiden name? And I was like, I didn't change my name. And, like, I think I could tell that he was a little, like, bugged by it. And I was like, you don't know me. Like...
Yeah, and you should never have to explain yourself to other people. Like, it's understandable, but at the same time, it is, like, frustrating as hell.
Yeah. Can we do a brief summary of what we've been doing over the last year?
Oh, yeah. I have gotten my my diabetes, like my type 2 diabetes. It's completely in full remission. My last A1C, which is the way that you can see like 3 months worth of sugar and your glucose levels. I'm now even past, like, behind the pre-diabetic stage through everything that I've been doing this year and last year. So this year, obviously more than others, but I'm off of my heart medication. I'm off all but part of my, like, the metformin. I think that we can mention the meds. I'm not sure. If not, you can cut that part out.
I'm not worried. I mean, I've already sworn, so.
Fuck yeah. Okay. So yeah, like, there's a lot of really good things that have been happening as far as that goes. And yeah, Null is still around. Memphis is still around. Burrell, Juggy, and Peter are still around. And starting to get my life calmer, other than floods. Yeah.
Her house floods when it rains, everyone.
Yeah.
Probably need to give some background on that. But yeah. Which I've been telling you for months to get sandbags.
Yes you have. Yes, you have.
I think right now sand's super expensive here. Is it expensive there? Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no quarries around this area, and not driving is another big thing. So
yeah,
I'm just like, at some point I'm gonna get it all cleaned out in there. Yeah, so I've got one of our mutual persons that we know. She's gonna come down. We decided that she's gonna come down on the 25th of October and then go home on the 27th. So I get to spend my entire birthday with her. So I'm so excited about that.
My plan, I haven't filmed it yet, but my plan is to have a video go up before this video that's kind of like an updates, I'm back video. Right. But I'll very quickly give the Cliff Notes version of what my life has been for the last year. So, we have 2 dogs now. We have Cher that everyone already knows, and then we have Romeo, who, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you haven't seen him, but he looks very much like Cher, just a little bit bigger. And then we also have a cat now. My husband had a cat when we met, and the cat's finally moved into our house because the cat was living with his parents, and the parents now own an RV and are traveling. So we finally took the cat in. Cat's name is Jax. He's here now. Not a fan of cats, but we won't talk about it.
Not like close your ears.
I like cats. I don't like owning a cat and having to deal with litter boxes and smells of cats.
Yeah.
I got married. Everybody kind of knew that already, but yes. I got married in February. We honeymooned in Key West, which was fantastic, although it was Plan C for the honeymoon because, COVID screwed all that up, but whatever. I think I'm going to show a couple pictures in that video. So if you haven't watched the video of my, coming back to YouTube for now, check it out. I will probably share a couple pictures from the wedding there. I started a different job. I left the job I was at and then started a new job. And I also have 2 PRN jobs. So I actually currently am working 3 jobs because I'm a glutton for punishment. But a lot of the healthcare people are not working in healthcare anymore because of the last year, which I may do a whole video about that.
Yeah.
We'll see. And I mean, other than that, I don't know that there's really anything too exciting that's happened, major update wise. Oh, I got a tattoo, but we'll show all this. I'm gonna show this in the video. I gotta leave something for people to want to actually go watch that video for.
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of my life in a nutshell.
Yep, I like that. I mean, I will add that there are obviously other things that have been transpiring, but I've walked away from several very toxic friendships or faux ships once and for all, and I'm now setting such clear boundaries that I'm starting to like really respect where I'm coming from on that. Mm-hmm. So I will add the fact that being in quarantine so many times and lockdown, for somebody who's an agoraphobe, being told to stay home is not only something that probably isn't going to be a healthy thing for me to do, but I also then can say, hey, can't go outside, I need to quarantine. Yeah. Which means that I can like stay in pajamas and do that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I'm trying to force myself not to do that. Hence the reason why I'm like cranking out my radio with my headphones and I'm bumming around and yeah. So, and I've been doing a lot of small projects. There is one of the ones that I just finished is this way. Yeah, it's a grass block from Minecraft that I made, and Kerr's daughter is gonna get that one. So, no, there's that, and then I did get myself a bike. But I also have really bad vertigo right now for the last 3 months. So I haven't been able to ride it, which kind of sucks because I was really excited to start biking places. And I might be able to start biking before the snow flies. Not sure. So, yeah, that's, and oh yeah, I got both of my vaxes. Ontario is, actually, this area specifically of Ontario is at the 75% adult completely both vaxes. So I'm not sure if you guys have the same kind of parameters. Like, we're starting to hear the possibility of Delta requiring us to have a third vax. Have you heard anything like that?
I don't know. I read recently that supposedly if you're vaccinated, it's supposed to decrease your chances of getting the Delta 8 variant as well. But I haven't really been keeping up on it because I'm vaccinated, so I don't really worry about it until someone at work is like, hey, we need to get another vaccine, and then I'll be like, all right. I mean, I guess like the other thing I could talk about that's kind of happened, and this has been over like the last maybe 4 months, is since getting married, I've like, I don't even know, this is like a mental health thing. It's a matter of looking at myself differently and being like more accepting of myself and liking myself more. And so I've transitioned that into dressing the way that I want instead of the way that I think people will look at me and be like, okay, that's acceptable, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like I used to be very much, I'm wearing like, I would wear looser clothing because I was insecure in my body and I didn't want people to look at it.
Right.
And I very much shifted into like, it's okay to wear this tight crop top and jeans if I want, and people can look at me and think whatever they want.
But you look absolutely freaking adorable, so own that. It's
just a matter of wearing what I like instead of what I think other people will like. And
right.
I feel like it's been nice because I like fashion, and I'm not the most fashionable, but I like clothing and I like to buy clothing, and I love Pinterest for the simple fact of being able to look at like outfits and, you know, random stuff like that. And so it's nice to be able to finally feel comfortable enough to wear what I think is cool.
I am 1000% like in agreement with that. So, as far as the clothing as well, like I've lost a lot to floods, but I'm also looking at it from the perspective of, from here on in, if I don't like the feel of something, I don't need to explain it. It just goes somewhere else. Like somebody else can utilize it. So so I'm slowly putting together a lot of the clothes, obviously the ones that survived, but I'm putting them all together to take them back to the women's shelter where I got my start here in this town. And they gave me options that I wouldn't have had it either, like in any way, shape, or form. Like, I need to thank them a lot. And I'm also making a throw blanket for them to put on one of the couches that's in like the living room area. So I guess that's an update as well.
I've also accepted the fact that I fit better into curvy fit jeans. That was like, okay. I know that's weird, but like I'm very much a pear shape. So like I'm small on top and then I have like wider hips and butt. And so I would buy these jeans and I would be buying to fit my thighs and my weight or my butt and my hips, but they would be massive on my hip or my waist. Can't talk.
Right.
So now I have found that curvy jeans that are made with smaller waists and like wider hip regions fit me better. And let me tell you, that's also changed my life as far as feeling more comfortable in the clothing because I'm like, oh, this actually fits. Because
which I absolutely love.
You don't, or at least in my mind, I didn't want to accept that I was curvy. Like I'm like curvy, but like it is what it is. The jeans fit great. They look great. You know?
Number one, you do look great. Number two, nobody else's opinion fucking matters. And three, right now, the trends, well, one of the trends in, I believe it's South Korea and Japan specifically, like they're doing that really small head thing. Like, have you noticed a lot of that stuff?
No, I mean, I would say the trends, because the Kardashians are the Kardashians, at least in America, the body trend is like tiny waist, really big butt. So like it works right now. Right now my body type works.
Right.
But when I was growing up as an adolescent in like the 90s and 2000s when like stick like straight up and down was the thing because low waist jeans were a thing. Ugh, it was awful. But also they're coming back and it's terrifying. I ain't wearing anything low waisted. Or whatever it's called. No. High rise, all day long, baby.
Yeah. My pants right now come to like right below my boobs. Like,
yeah.
It's crazy. I would prefer that.
My jeans are like right at my belly button.
See, I have a hernia, so I cannot handle anything touching my, like, that's the only spot on me completely that you will get hit if you touch that. Like, it's never happy.
Yeah.
Never. So.
Well, and there are some people that hate high-waisted stuff because it's like it feels constricting when you sit down and stuff. So like I can understand the benefits to low-rise or mid-rise things, but like just crush it. Like crush my stomach. I don't care.
Exactly. I'm not gonna be offended if I look skinny or whatever. But yeah. Yeah. So I kind of going back to the question about that I actually asked you privately. How does Romeo get along with Jax? Because I know that Cher is kind of indifferent, whatever.
Romeo is interested in Jax. Jax is not interested in either of the dogs. Romeo wants to play and Jax is like, nope, you're too big for me. Romeo's like 80 pounds. He's pretty big. And he likes to throw his weight around because he thinks he's a puppy or something. I don't know. We've had to reinforce our fence because the next door neighbor and him like want to meet, like the dogs want to meet, and Romeo will like run his head through the fence, like pushing the like individual fence posts away so he can like stick his head through. So we had to like reinforce the fence so that doesn't happen. It's
right.
Great. It's great.
I think that would be an absolute hilarious sled dog for a zombie apocalypse. Because he would just be like, go. And that would be great because he could take out all the others.
Yeah.
Like, you're a zombie dog. There you go. Yeah. You want to cheers?
Yeah. Cheers to the rant for today. Oh, I just dripped on my computer. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for today. We've filmed for literally almost 40 minutes and I have to edit some of that out. But, yeah. So I just want to say thank you to the people that stuck around for the last year when I haven't been posting anything, and to the people that are still going to be interested in sticking around. Thank you. And also, if you're just now finding me somehow magically, the algorithm somehow works in my favor. and you're interested in seeing more, please subscribe. I'll put my Twitter down below if people want to follow me over there.
And subscribe right here.
Sure. Wherever that button is now.
Yeah, it's over here somewhere. It's hiding.
So yeah, and subscribe to Pix, obviously. I think we're both going to start getting a little more active and posting videos, so... yeah, so thanks for watching Rose and Ranting numero uno. We're hopefully going to keep doing this if people are watching and interested. Let us know what you want us to rant about or what we should be drinking while we're ranting. Also, something I would be interested is trying like different mixed drinks. I'm all about that. Anyway, so thanks. We'll see you guys probably next week, maybe. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.